All right, we got to do... Let me adjust my mic. We got to do the warning because people get mad. And with the warning, I won't get mad.
Warning. Archer's Garage Live is not suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Nice. All right. Let me put up a little blues until everybody gets here. And I can finish doing what I'm doing. And I will be right there. Stand by. All right. Let's get this party started. Somebody look at me. You guys ever get the feeling that somebody's like watching you, looking at you or something? Oh, that's right. I'm alive. Live show. What's up, everybody? What are you guys doing? Hopefully everybody made it through all the holidays and then recovered from all that and, you know, all the crazy stuff that's been going on. You know, I got a big announcement. So my daughter is out there, I guess, traipsing across the United States. And, of course, their goal was to get to California and sort of hang out and do some surfing and checking all that stuff. And I knew something was up. I'm like, are you sure you're not going out there to do something stupid like your mom and I did and get married and whatever? And she's like, no, we're not going to be doing that. Well, they didn't get married, but they got engaged. So congratulations to Tyler and Christina on your engagement. Very pretty ring. I'll see if I can find it in my phone later because, you know, we've just been texting in the family channel like crazy. And then I get all these beautiful sunset pictures, all these beautiful pictures of odd looking palm tree things and whatever else, just stuff, you know. And so pretty cool, right? Hopefully everything works good there. And I guess they'll be coming back in about another 2 weeks or something. I don't know. I said to my ex-wife, like, this just, how did they get so much time off from work? Are they going to come back and be like fired? Or did they know something and not tell us, but had to tell their employer, respective employers? Because it'd be like, I think if I was an employer, I'd be like, what do you mean you're going to take like a month? Nobody does that. What, are you getting married or something? And then maybe you hear like something like, well, you know, we're not really getting married, but we're getting engaged and it's a trip of a lifetime and we're going to spend some time together. And then maybe as an employer, you'd be like, all right, well, it is sort of the off time of year, you know. I feel that congratulations, but another one bites the dust, right? So I just wanted to see what you guys are doing. And check out what everybody, you know, if you get to the point where, you know, I'm 62, so I'm a few days outside of my birthday now, right? And, you know, like, I think when you get older, right, you don't really need as much. Like, a lot of things don't sort of, like, are not important to you as much. It's like the basic things in life that are important. And you know how sometimes you get that feeling, like, you know what, I feel like a chocolate bar, right? Or like I got my Milanos, which I'm gonna have in a little bit. So I got myself some Milanos and a few other like Nutri bars. So the nutritive bars, high protein bars, will they offset the Milano, the effects of the Milano? I don't know. But, you know, sometimes you feel like, you know, if you don't drink a lot, maybe you feel like a beer, or I know people that don't smoke anymore or smoke on occasion, and I'll light up a cigarette and they're like, you know what, can I have a cigarette? Like stuff like that, right? And it's like I felt a little while ago, I was like, you know, I feel like I want to fart. Like I actually just that would be good right now. Like if I could just fart. But the problem is, when you get a little bit older, like you're not sure if that's what you want, right? Like what's going to happen? You know, can you guys, you know, some of you I know, not everybody, but you know, you're getting up there in age. Can some of you guys successfully just be like, all right, I'm going to let one out, whatever happens, right? Without crapping in your pants. Like, is this going to be the time that... So, funny story. So, this doctor, he's got this patient comes in, and he's like my neighbor, he's in his 90s. And so he does full blood workup and checking him out, see if he's okay. Calls the guy back in, sits down, he looks over his chart, and he's like, you know, all the blood work looks okay. I mean, for your age, you're in really good shape. He's like, do you still feel okay? You feel all right? The old man says, yeah, I'm fine. He says, you know, I don't want to get too personal, but, you know, how about like your bowel movement? Are you regular? You have regular bowel movements and any issues with urination? And the doc is, you know, just going through the usual. And the old man says, no, it's fine. I'm regular all the time. I'm always regular. And the doctor says, well, that's really good. And the old man goes, no, it's not. And the doctor's a little bit befuddled. He's like, what are you talking about? He says, no, it's not. He goes, I'm regular every day, about 5:30. The only problem is I wake up at around 7:30, 8 o'clock. Oh, no. I hope that's not in the cards. So let me see what you guys are up to. We got a handful of people here. We got six or seven people coming in and out. Hello, humans. TJM is here. I haven't seen you in a while. Uncle Mark, it says it's snowing in Manitoba. Ken said it was snowing up there today, but we just got like a flurry and then rain and then slush and then garbage, and it's sunny out. Well, it's starry out right now. It's not sunny out, so the skies are clear, but I hear we might get a little bit more. We'll see. We'll see if it comes by again. Henry says, Arch, hello. TGM says sounds really good. Thanks, TJ. TJM. There's other TJs here. He goes, Henry goes, my kind of music. Nice, Henry. I'm glad you enjoyed it. So I tried out this microphone on that, and on my other channel, I'll do like more of a comparison. And then this is the one I really wanted. So I haven't had time, right? This one's a little bit different. This is a Behringer. You can't really see it. You'll see it when, and it has these switches on it too. So these switches can do high cut or low cut, which I mentioned last week, which can be very useful depending upon what you're recording. These are high pressure mics, so they can lay right up against the amplifier. You can use them as a vocal, but you'd have to be like this, right? And one of the things that's good about that is if you're in a noisy area. So this is the front of the mic. Yeah, this is the front, and this is the front. So although it will pick up a little bit of sound from the back, mostly to the sides and the front. So if you're in a noisy area and you want good audio, like even outside, and you want to make sure you're getting some good audio, it's these kinds of mics that do that. This one, I really like that mic, this Rode here, because it's expensive. These are cheap, like about $50 a pop, but they're particular use. This one covers, this Rode, this one covers a lot of possibilities. It's got switches on the back for how much gain you want. It also has cut, bass, and treble cut. And I gave the example last week of, like, if you wanted to mic, make sure it's not too loud. If you wanted to mic up a snare or a cymbal, but they're near the bass drum, you could do a bass cut, and it'll try to block off the sound coming from the bass drum and the snares. And you go the other way. So you could try to pick up a floor tom or two floor toms or something like that, but the cymbals are nearby, and you don't want that. So you could do a treble cut, or you could just try to pick up everything and just go straight. I think somebody hit me up. So I want to catch you guys up with Big Mike. I did some work. Big Mike says, here he goes, buddy, congratulations. I know, Big Mike, right? So, yeah, let me just show you the state of affairs earlier with Big Mike. Hopefully you don't. Mike's watching the game, and he's got the brood, right, from all of his family there, from his sons and what have you. And so he's watching the brood. And so my ex-wife saw my neighbor, my 90-year-old neighbor, and his late 80s-year-old wife, and mentioned it to them, because they said, well, why has Christina's car been in the backyard for weeks? Well, it had to come out. And then right away out of the old man's mouth was like, oh, you know what comes next? Oh, oh, jeez. That's pretty cool. We'll see what happens. One day at a time, right? One day at a time. TJ goes, nice. Congratulations, TJ says. Mitch Simpson says, good job, loved it. Tactical Sport, Arch, long time no see. So Tactical, good to hear from you, brother. He'll probably just stop in. Man About Mowers, Fart Master for Archie Papa 68. He says, hey Arch, happy Saturday night. So Spork, I often go on Discord still, and I've been a gamer. Well, I haven't been a gamer lately, but I was a gamer, and I've told you guys, I used to run servers for Daisy Epoch and all that stuff. So Spork came in and was hanging out with some of my friends in their Discord server. It's kind of like, it's a thing that you can, if you guys don't know, you can talk and message in, and you have a channel. They call it a server, but it's really like a channel. People can come in. A lot of YouTubers use it, right? Because people can come in, sign up. They can see specific message boards. They can message each other. You can put up pictures and little movies and clips from whatever, or website links or whatever, and you chat, you hang out. And you don't really see each other, but you're gaming and you're doing your thing. And so Spork, I met Spork a while back, and I see you around, Spork. I just stopped in this week and a little bit last week to say hey to the fellas and make sure Happy New Year and Merry Christmas. So certainly to you, because I haven't seen you in a while, and hopefully everything is good. I'll stop in again. I noticed that you were in there a couple of times, but I'm often busy, and I just don't want to necessarily take the time out and start hanging out, because as soon as I go over there, they suck me into watching some game or whatever, which is fun. And that, yeah, you can also, whatever game you're playing, fellas that don't know, you can show your game and your progress like a stream, but it's on that channel. It's not like a global, not like a broadcast like this. So that's Twitch and stuff like that. So yeah, he's a cool dude, good gamer. Everything is great. Actually got married, oh no, last September, and I've been crazy busy as a result. I bet you have. Well, congratulations to you, brother. That is totally awesome. That hopefully everything goes good. Well, everything goes good initially, right? Everything goes good initially. So good times. I remember when I got married. Let's remember when I got divorced. So I just got my internet up, right? Let me show you my internet real quick. Texas, thanks. Really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm going to stop in and we'll chat some more. When I see you in there, definitely. We'll have to do that. I want to get back in there again anyway, but yeah, we had a lot of fun the other night with just chatting back and forth. But let me just show you my internet speed. So this is my internet speed, and you can see 94.86 megabits per second down and 94.47 up, which isn't particularly fast, but it's fast enough for me. I do have a 1 gig internet, basically a 1 gig internet package from Optimum Online, and I can't get the full speed because of my cables. So those that remember last week, I was having internet problems. Let me come back. Usually what'll happen when it goes bad is the download will be, 20, 30, 40. But what's really bad is the upload will be as low as 1.4 megabits per second. And that's like dial-up speeds, right? I can't do anything with that. And it'll go up and down a little bit. So I kind of get screwed. And I've mentioned this before, and why that happens to me is because we were a day late paying the bill. So I'm trying to make like a video, put the video together for this. I showed you guys some video footage like when I first got it, like a year ago, and we didn't pay the bill on time, and we couldn't figure out what the hell was happening. And eventually I figured it out. And what happens is they send a message, basically a packet down the line to your router modem, their router modem, and they castrate your internet speed. They punish you because you didn't pay the bill. And when you pay the bill, and it was like that night, I had some stuff to do, and they bring the speed up. But for me, it never comes back to the rated speed that I'm supposed to get. And I went a few days, and finally I'm like, I can't do anything. I can't upload anything. I'm uploading 20, 30-minute videos at 4K or Ultra HD. I remember one time when it was like 1.4 megabits per second upload, it took me over 24 hours, and you can't touch the computer. The problem is like with uploads, there's no smart upload. So if it takes you, let's say 20 minutes to do an upload, and your internet connection isn't good, or you're trying wireless and you have interference, and at 19 minutes and 59 seconds, it screws up, the upload drops out, YouTube says, try again later. You got to do it all over again. And if it takes you a day and you can't touch the computer or do anything or shut it off or reboot it and you get to that last second after 24 hours, you're doing it all over again. And no, that's crazy. So guy came down. They're all illegals. They're all from Russia, right? Two of the guys were Mongoloids, or not Mongolians. Nice people. I really like these people. Very smart, very hardworking. This guy was a family man. And they only have like 3 years of experience, and they don't know what to do. And I'm like, I'm going to tell you what's wrong with it. I'm going to tell you the fix, but you're going to want to go do your thing first, because that seems to be what happens. And when I start to explain to them what's wrong and how to fix it, they look at me like I'm, like, what are you joking, bro? Really? Like, no, I showed them all the stuff. We talked to them for a little while. You have to replace their router modem, because nowadays it's not just a modem, it's a router as well. You have to replace it. I don't know if what happens because it's cheap shit, and he said to me that they've had a lot of problems with their router modems, and also they're getting very rare because of what's going on in the world with all the chips and everything. So they're not allowed to keep but one in the truck, and good luck if you need another one. So that's another problem. Anyway, I tried to explain to him, we don't know if it bricks the modem. We're not really sure. But one of the things that has to be done is, what did he call it? So they do all this crap with rebooting the modem and renewing the gateway, but they have to reprovision the modem. So they have to take, your address and your account and whatever speed package you have, which is part of the problem, and they have to associate that to the modem, the IP, and all the other numbers that the modem has, and they have to essentially load that in and give the modem an okay, right, to essentially operate on your account. And whatever happens to these modems after they castrate me, it doesn't recover. The speed does not recover. No matter, it's not me. I say, and he's checking stuff out here, and he's checking stuff in there. Like my stuff is like set up nice, and he didn't understand a lot of it. So for the past couple of days, we have each other's phone number. So I've been trying to teach him, and I've been messaging him, and he's asking me questions, and I'm trying to make him, help him to understand. I have to train these guys, but I have to help them because I can't do what they do. And when the problem is, he didn't even know what he had to call his people that you can't talk to. Only the techs can talk to these people, and they have to assign all this stuff and refresh the gateway. And he said to me, they did something else, and he wouldn't tell me what it is. I said, that's what the last two guys said. No one will tell what it is or what they did. And when I call, and you get the computer AI thing, please press 1 for this. No, I don't need that. I already did that. Well, we can try and help you fix it. No, I don't want you to help me fix it. You can't fix it. Can I have an operator? We know you want an agent, but right now, let's just try to... No, I want an agent. All right, well, then press 1 to start all over again. No, I don't want to start all over again. I want a fucking agent. It's maddening, right? So pull out what's left of my hair, waste all of this time. Now I'm backed up with what I'm doing. We'll get to that because I want to show you what I did to my Sunstar. We pulled the Magnum motor out. That was fun. That was so much fun. I did that a little while ago. I worked kind of late. We're going to get to that in a minute. We're going to pull the Magnum motor out together. There's not a lot of footage. It's raw footage. I didn't need to take very much. It was pretty easy to do. We're going to need a few things. I think the motor's in really good shape. And I didn't edit the footage or anything, so it's a little raw. You guys feel a little bit raw? I'm feeling a little raw tonight. I got to turn the heat down, too, in a minute. I should do that now. It feels hot. So no snow today. I don't know. Ken was doing his thing, and we didn't get it. Johnny Bros says, evening, Jen. Sorry I'm late. Researching some cheap Wi-Fi 4K security cams. Oh, no. You know what? Yeah, actually, I was looking. Did I show you last week some of the stuff that I was looking at? That was pretty nice. I'll pick it up maybe later on. But these aren't just security cams. They're cheap. They're like $100 for really nice, like 4K. We could use I want to use them, and a lot of YouTubers now are starting to use them for their YouTube channel. Some of them are manual focus, some of them are widescreen. A lot of them have replaceable lenses. I want to set one up on the bench and just kind of leave it there on the bench. And I don't know how well it'll work, but a lot of guys use it for like computer repairs, or watch guys use it. People that are doing like intricate work and they set up one, like at least one camera right over a bench or maybe to the side. The price is very good. Some of the more expensive ones, the most expensive one I saw was like $300. The cheapest one was about $150. And they have some with the widescreen, right? The fisheye that you can put up in the corner, and it does a little bit of autofocus, and it can look out. So there's like some cool stuff there. That stuff will be on my other channel, by the way, which I've been working on some footage for my other channel. Eventually I'll get that together. So I've been trying to keep busy. T. James says, Arch, have you have to go grandkids are calling now. Congratulations. You see what I mean? He goes, check back later. You see what I mean? That's my life, right? It's coming soon. Coming to my house near you soon will be children. No, we got to get through the wedding and everything. And Robert says, hello, all. Robert, you missed it. I just said, I told everybody that my big announcement was Christina and her boyfriend, Tyler, are out in California, and they took a month-long trip. And they got engaged. So I won't see them for another couple of weeks, at least like 2 weeks. So, yeah. See, that's why Ken always gets mad. He's like, because you run all this stuff in the beginning. I said, well, because I'm a small channel and people don't come right away and the message goes out. He's like, well, what do you? I said, well, I start. What time do you start? And Big Mike asked me, well, for the past 3 years, I've been starting at 8:30. But people they forget. They don't remember. They don't care, right? What time do you start? That's why I run all this leader stuff in the beginning to let people kind of come in when they can, especially now that we're getting older. Like, oh, crap, Archer's online. I better go to the bathroom now, right? What was he saying before? Let me go now. I got it. I got to go soon. I got to go to the bathroom soon. I kind of waited. I'll wait a little longer. All right, I got to have some of my Milano. Yum. You guys want? Robin says, they vacationing or move there? No, God help, no. No, they're vacationing. I drove across. They spent the past couple of weeks driving across the continent, stopping at different places. Hotels, motels, and camping. And he likes to surf, so he's surfing out there. They checked out all kinds of cool places, aviation, car museums, Route 66, a whole bunch of stuff. And then Monday, she's going to see a friend of hers. I mentioned a few weeks back. They used to live out here, and they moved back. They had those issues in 2008 when the housing market crashed. And, they took a lot of bad advice, like the stuff that my ex-wife wanted to do. And I was like, no. Well, they lost their house. I had to move back with Mom and stuff. They're doing well now, but they had to leave. So, yeah. But it's a nice place. The weather's nice. It's expensive, but the weather's nice. He goes, hey, they are welcome to stop and visit. Oh, I'll mention it to them, but I think when they're on their way home, I'm not sure what their routine is going to be, because on the way there. Well, first of all, when they were on their way there, they were more focused on getting out of the bad weather and getting more south and getting warmed up. And then they took their time and they stopped a lot of places. So I don't know how much time they'll have left. If she gets to spend a few days or whatever with a friend, that would be nice. Her friend has even come out here a few times and stayed with us. But they've been longtime friends. So I think that she's going to, T's going to milk that as long as she can, and we'll see what happens. But I'll mention it to her. Yeah, but they have plans. They have a whole, roadmap planned out that they planned. They've been planning this for a while. It's not been impromptu. She has a pretty ring. Let me see if I could find it. Hold on. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it because there's so many pictures. But if I of course, a lot of them are cats as well. Because Christina's like, how are the babies? Oh, wait, this is a good pic of Mama Marley, right? That's Mama Marley. That's Mama, right? She's got her own sins. One of 6, right? I know, right? There's just nothing I can do. It's like 6 pics. And this is Missy. This is her daughter. She's rough. That's the little slut. She's getting to be a fatty, too. There's another pic of her. And this is... I think this is Binks, my buddy, but it's hard to tell. Sometimes. They're both black, but Binks is all black, and he's got a smaller face. Yeah. See, this is Binks. I mean, a beanie. He's a terror, right? See the little whiskers? Right? His nails are always out. I think he's like a hunter. And he's sketchy and skittish. And he gets upset because he's often doing something wrong. And he gets in trouble. And sometimes he gets a little skittish with us. And particularly with me. Oh, let me see if I can find the hands of... It's got to update. I want to see the ring in person, I don't think I saved it. And they're working on their car. Pizza. Beautiful sunset. We're coming close. Hold on, it's got to update. Sorry. This is great live content, isn't it, fella? Especially when I'm sitting there doing nothing, looking at my phone. I can't help it, right? It's all just live. It's, cut me a little slack. Is that it? No. I should have saved it. The thing is, I had to unload a whole bunch of crap off my phone just to get it to update, and it's still not a high enough update. I can't even go on my own YouTube channel and check anything out because the phone can't update anymore. And YouTube, here it is, and YouTube updated, and so did Google, and it just keeps saying you've got to update, but it requires revision 16.2, iOS. I'm like, I can only get to 15, You can kind of see it. So congratulations, T-Nerp and Tyler, and he's all happy. Though that won't last. I shouldn't say stuff like that. It's so horrible. I know, right? Let's see, publisher, congrats, you'll be dreaded father-in-law. I know, they're already worried. Yeah, bro says, that's a Russian blue. Yes, she's some kind of a Russian blue. Yeah. And she was just odd, right? She's very odd. Really cool cat, right? She's the one that lived outside and then was hanging on our front door looking for my daughter, and she didn't know. I don't know if they know they're pregnant. I guess they do. It's all that instinct thing. We didn't know. We certainly didn't know she was going to have 3 beautiful little kitties coming out. Where's my other lighter? Keep smoking this clip. That black one looks just like Darwin. Totally does look like Darwin. Yeah. Show Darwin more on your channel, bro. Let's see which one is Darwin? So Brett is Darwin's. No, wait. Brett, what's Brett's cat's name? Yours is Darwin's, right? So yours is black, Brett's is orange, and I have some more orange stuff. I get confused with names. If I don't write stuff down and try to remember it, it just doesn't happen. See, Rob says, maybe she learned lessons about happiness from her mom and dad, what not to do. That's a dick thing to say, Robert. But then again, sometimes you really are a dick. You don't say shit like that. Oh, God. Get off my channel. No, I'm only allowed to be a dick. I'm the biggest dick. I often say, right, when I run the world, when I get to rule the world as a dictator, I'll fix everything. But for right now, I'm just a dick. I'll get the tater part later. Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. When I run the world, yeah, you don't want me running the world. I would be a dictator, for sure. But I might be an okay one. As dictators go. People might look back, upon my time at ruling, and they'd be like, he was kind of a dick. But, he wasn't all that bad. What's Mike say? That's Big Mike says. He says, diamonds and pussycats. Where's this going? That's great, Mike. Diamonds and pussycats. Diamonds and pussycats. Oh, that'd be a good song. Where is this going? Oh, fuck me. I don't know where it's going. Let me bring up a little bit of Mike's stuff. But yeah, remind me, Johnny. I'll set that up later. I want to show you some, and Rob too. These are some nice cameras, for very little money. And there are YouTubers that use them and do recommend them. Now, of course, I don't know. Can you really trust a YouTuber? No. And that's kind of what I'm working on for my other channel is the issues with the internet that I think maybe as a YouTubers would be interested. Some YouTubers would be more interested than like John Q. Public and Jane Q. Public, because most people aren't going to really know what the hell I'm talking about. You got to run speed tests on your internet, on your cell phone, or your laptop or whatever, because they could be ripping you off, and most likely are. But when you're having all of these, internet issues and everything. Oh yeah, before I get to that, I wanted to mention, so whenever you're having these issues, you're not really sure why, it's like if you're going on like Ken's show, or why is it fuzzy here, or why can't people hear me, or why is it suddenly stuttering? It could be your ISP, your equipment and hardware, and it can also be your hardware meshing with that hardware, and it's not tuned right. So I spent the past couple of days just ironing out a few more issues, but I really do need to rerun new wire. I need Cat 7 or Cat 8 really to support the speeds that I have, and to get the computers talking and all the other stuff that I want to do coming up in the future. And that stuff will be on my new channel. So I was checking out Ken's today for a little while, and I thought it was interesting because I had said something and I went against the great James, right? I'm like, oh, you can't do that. What James didn't understand, and nobody wanted to answer it, and Ken asked the question again, is Arch full of shit, or they wouldn't touch it because it went against James, which is bizarre. So what James did, there was some other guy on there, and the guy had said, I don't know if it was a generator or whatever, but the guy said he never changed the oil, the motor didn't run right, or it didn't work, he couldn't start it rather, and it was, I don't know, there was something wrong with it, right? Something to do with the ACR. But the thing had really low compression, and he couldn't get it started. And I didn't get all the other information. I mean, you need to look inside the cylinder, and you could use Mad's new tool that I went online on your YouTube channel, look to see what your tool was, and you were just talking about it. I didn't even really see the tool. You had, anyway, show me the tool. Not your tool. Show me the tool. So I'm thinking about this, and I'm like, that motor's crap. And then James comes on and starts talking about some big engine generator, and that he was messing around with it, and he opened up the lash on the exhaust valve to sort of get it to start. And he goes, it's fine. I'm thinking to myself, no, it's not fine. That motor's trash. And by doing what he didn't, I don't think anybody understood this. I had said, first of all, you're going to have heat transfer issue. It's an exhaust valve. Exhaust valves get really hot. And anybody that's ever actually worked on stuff, I mean, James is pretty good, but he's not really a mechanic. Like, he just started this a few years ago. It's not like he was an IT manager guy. So anybody that's ever, even in small equipment, anybody that's ever worked on one of those Cub Cadet crappy bucket motors that drop valves and valve seats because they overheat. Remember now, these things are air cooled. They get filthy. People don't change the oil. And when you run a motor at 3,400, 3,600 RPMs or whatever it is, constantly in the heat with the filth, every little thing can become a problem. And with an exhaust valve that's spinning, shooting up and down in there, one of the problems is they get hot. And if they start to lock up, you don't know what the lubrication is on many of these motors. There's a lot of them are slap oilers. And even the ones that have an oil pump, they tend not to push a lot of oil up to the top. So these valves, particularly the exhaust, they don't cool well. And that can lead to it locking up inside of its valve guide. Now, on the valve tip itself, when you open up the lash, two things happen. First of all, when you open up the lash a lot, it's a nice thing to do to test to see if your ACR is a problem when you have really low compression because your motor's fried. You can try to get the motor started, and you can, and that's a way to see, all right, is an ACR issue, is it an ACR issue, and the fact that my motor's shot, that's a cool thing to do. But when you leave that lash really wide, especially on the exhaust, is you're not getting a lot of contact time with the tip of the rocker to the tip of the valve, because the valve is trying to give up its heat in three ways. One is on the seat. So seat time and seat closure time is very important because it has to transfer all that heat that it deals with to the seat. And then also through the valve guide, but lastly to the valve tip. And if you're not really on that valve tip, see, like hydraulic lifters are nice because they tend to keep the valve tip and the top of the rocker together. They loosen up on lower RPMs, but they pump up. And when you set lash on a manual, you know, physically manually adjusting the lash, that lash by factory specs is designed so that the lash, especially on an exhaust valve that gets hot, they know that as the valve grows and everything grows and gets hot and expands, that lash closes up. So you're getting the tip time, so to speak, the time on target. You're getting the correct numbers and the correct contact to transfer the heat up this way. And like I said, it's questionable. I mean, I pull out a lot of covers, or rocker covers that kind of has oil in there, but not a lot. There's not a lot cooling that valve. So that's the other way, and that's the other thing. The second thing is that lash is excessive, so you're slamming the tip of the valve into the rocker. At some point, instead of them riding together, you're slamming it, which is causing problems hammering on the tip and throwing the valve in the stem, which is going to cause problems. It's going to wear the rocker arm. It could crack it. So that's the second thing. And the third thing, which nobody mentioned anything, is that the timing of the camshaft is changed and the spark is completely changed. And without getting too deep into it, because it takes that much longer for the two of them to contact each other. So if you were to take the ACR out of the way, once the ACR is gone, if you were to set up top dead center and put a mark, look at your valves, check your lash, make sure it's stock, and then as you go to turn clockwise, you'll see on a exhaust stroke, you'll see it start to push down, right? Once it starts to push down, you put another mark, and then you go through the entire vent until the valve comes all the way up, and then it goes back to its lash. You put another mark, right? If you then increase the lash and do that again, you're going to see the marks are going to be in a completely different spot, which means the ignition is not going to be in the right place. So that's another concern. And then lastly, you're talking about a dead motor, basically a worn out dead motor being sold to somebody. This is not a lawnmower. This is what, a generator? Something that somebody's going to pay a few $100s for, that they're going to want to count on when the power goes out and they need it. And this thing's going to be running at high RPM, and a lot of those generator motors don't last anyway. And this thing's already seriously compromised, and then somebody bonied it together and went, it's fine. How about no? So there is so much wrong with all of that it just went shoop, right over everybody's head. Why? Because of the great James? Not to make fun of James, but no, it's not fine. Nothing of that is fine. Throw it out. Rebuild the motor. Take a peek inside and look to see, are there scores on the cylinder wall? I mean, if there's no scores, maybe the rings are dead. Maybe rebuild the motor. Maybe take it apart. Maybe pop the head off. It might be worth it because you could sell that for a decent buck if it's in good shape. But it's not a lawnmower that if it dies on your lawn, right, and you're like, oh, crap, I guess I need a lawnmower now. Borrow your neighbor's. No, these are used when the power is out and you need it. Totally different. All right, let's get to the next piece. Actually, you know what time is it? Because I think I have to pee. That is my rant. Why do I have to rant? Sound like this? I mentioned nobody wanted to touch it. Nobody wanted to touch it. Why? It's just a conversation. You might learn something. I can't say anything because I'm texting it. What the hell am I going to say? I'm going to explain all that in a text. It's not going to happen. So everybody's mad at me now. Everybody left. Oh, you're going to leave now. He said something. Oh, yeah, my God, this is a against James. Like, literally, people get all tweaked like that. Oh, aren't you just jealous? Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Let me cover all of that. Hold on, who's this now? Mike says, fact. Yeah, right, Mike? Fact. So I want to show Mike stuff, but I'm thinking, let me see what time it is, because maybe we just want to take a quick pee break. Chaw break. Let me close this. Yeah, we have a little bit to do. We got a little bit of housekeeping before I start with Mike. And it's up over here since they moved it. Yeah, 48 minutes. Yeah, we could take a pee break. We're pretty good. Hold on. I'll be right back. Let's set up. I know Madhouse. Well, let's call Madhouse. Mad about mowers. Let's combine the two and just call it Madhouse. Nice. Hold on. There you go, P-Lady. I'll be right back. Okay, P. Later. Lady, gotta get out of the way. I don't know what you're doing. Are you gonna, can I get in the toilet? How long are you gonna be in there? You ever get that? You're in the toilet and somebody in your family, some family member's like, hey, how long are you gonna be in there? Well, I don't know. I mean, I had my watch set. Usually I can pull this off in 5 minutes, 6 minutes, but I think the train's running behind schedule. You know, why you gotta ask that? How much longer are you gonna be in there? I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be in there. You know, I'm gonna be in here for a little while. You want me to give you updates? I don't know what people expect. You know. All right, lady, you got to move over. Hey, lady, how much longer are you going to be in there? All right, I'm getting out now. Let me just scratch my ass. It's horrible. You know, let's see what Johnny Bravo says. Let's see. Uncle Mark says, interesting, multiple node. Rob Orr goes, to multiple nodes. Yeah, right. Oh, let me back up. The new mesh wireless networks can support multi-gig, but that doesn't matter if your internet provider can't keep up. Yeah, I know. So, yeah, hold on, wait. Brett is Roxy. Yeah, he goes, yes, my cat is Roxy. Right. And, man, if your internet provider can't keep up, I have an ad hoc mesh at home that allows me to stream multiple 4Ks at once. Yeah, and I have the Asus mesh in the basement, but I run it wire out here, but it provides wireless in the house. And then I've got the older, whatever D-Link in here, and it just provides some additional connectivity to secondary, tertiary stuff, wired and wireless, mostly for my phone and for my laptop because I control my cameras wirelessly when I'm using multiple cameras. So, but when I put new wire in, you know, oh yeah, hit the like button. Yeah, I always forget about that kind of stuff. Mark goes, Uncle Mark goes, interesting info on the valve heat transfer theory. Yeah, valve heat, but also the timing. Now, you know, Rob will tell you, like when we were working on all these motors and our friends built motors and everything, and I used to read a lot of books. You know, when you're tweaking a custom engine or a performance engine or a race motor, little stuff like that are tricks that you can do. But then everything has a consequence. You know, yeah, it might help you to win a race, or it might make it run better for now, or you might do it to see, does it run better or does it run worse? Because it might help you in, like I designed a camshaft for my Pontiac engine, and a lot of people said, oh, it's not going to work. But I already had 2 cams in that engine, and I sat down and I kind of came up using some cam software with the idea of changing a few things around. And when you have the ability to make some tweaks and changes, you know, bigger rocker arms, you know, longer throw rocker arms, maybe go from 155 to 165 or higher, high lift, all this stuff. You can play around and you can see. But what you really want for a generator is to return the engine and everything back to correct. Most really factory. You don't want to be fooling around with it. If it needs an ACR, get rid of it and put an ACR in. But if the ACR is getting in the way of you starting your engine, it's because you don't have enough compression. And they knew that. And why do you think you don't have enough compression? Because your engine's crap. Either it's rebuildable, and I don't rebuild small engines because I have a lot of them. They're not worth it. They're not worth my time. I'll put a better one on, right? I'll test it, I'll run it up, and if it's really bad, it goes in the garbage. If it's a bigger engine, you know, a much bigger engine for like a big generator or something, well then I want to go see what's in there, because maybe this thing can be rebuilt and I can put it back to correct and I can sell it, make some money, and it's worth my time and it's kind of fun to do, you know. And if you're just going to do it for yourself, you might luck out. I mean, you might wind up with something. But if you're going to sell it, like it's fine, it's okay, and just pass it off to the next guy, I don't like doing that. And when people do that, whenever that's happened to me, I'm like, F you, bro. You just sold me some crap when you told me it was fine. I hear stuff like that all the time nowadays from other people. Oh, they said it was fine. Yeah. Oh, jeez. My ex-wife and my daughter, particularly my ex-wife, never say to your lady, you look fine. Unless you're like saying it like, whoa, girl, you are fine. Oh, you're hot. No, you can never just look at her and go, do I look pretty? Do I look fat? Do I look bloated? No, you look fine. Oh, so I do look fat and bloated. Fat and oh, no, see, oh, you just started a world of hurt. So it's not, so when I think of the word fine, being married and divorced and all this crap that I've been through all my life, once, it's like trigger word, trigger, it's not fine. Don't ever use that word. Oh, that's like the word should just be banished, you know? Oh, my God. Yeah, Uncle Mark just hit the like button. Matt says, Madhouse. He says, I have the hydraulic lifters on the Kohler 22 Pro V twin cylinder engine. Yeah, and they're actually pretty nice. I mean, I do like adjusting, manual adjustment, but they're pretty nice. And of course, it's a whole nother test, whatever. When they go bad, they do. They're not as nice as like a older car engine hydraulic lifter, but they're smooth and they keep everything in contact. You get less slamming and wear. It's quieter. Set up right. They work very well. And they make their little bit of little adjustments over time as the engine wears. I don't even say this, like these engines, they're running air cooled. Nobody takes care of them. You take the cover off, they're packed with mice nests and mud dauber nests and just garbage and lawn and grass, and they're getting hot and they're getting older. And like that guy that was on today, never changed your oil, really? I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I pull oil out of things and I look down and I'm like, oh, that motor's not long for the world. And I try to show all of that. Well, he says, get your router out of the basement and put it as high as possible in the house. Nah, I don't need that. It works fine. Everybody gets, it's good where it is. I'm not wiring all the way up there, all of those wires, because some of the wires come out here. It works fine. They're getting plenty of saturation to their cell phones or whatever else, and I don't need it out here. It's too far. It wouldn't reach anyway. I mean, I'm going to run something all the way up to my attic. That's not happening. And then I got to run wires back down again. Not happening. And then when I have a problem, when they screw me up again, I got to run. Now I'm just not running in and out of the basement. I'm running up and down all those stairs and back out here with the guy the other day. Not happening. Bad idea. Nope. You can build your own router. You can. I was thinking about it. I don't have the time right now. Let's see. Bravo goes, Mark says, hit the like button. Bravo goes, Arch, the intake valve timing is more critical to ignition timing. Exhaust wide lash reduces overlap and being able to push the gases out. Yeah, but see, once again, you're there. He was opening it up so far. That's a whole nother thing altogether. Walker says, get your router out. Brett says, he goes, I hit like when I came in. Nice. Bravo goes, I always wondered why generator engines aren't water cooled. Some of them are, and they're a lot more expensive, much more efficient. Hell, even small motorcycle and ATV engines now are water cooled. Yeah, Honda has some. They're a lot more money. And, they don't get used a lot, so there's problems with that. But they're a lot more money. And people don't want to spend it. In some areas, like here, it's pretty rare that you're going to need a generator. You really, and Henry had said it best. He said, get yourself one of those inverter styles with the battery and everything, and plug that into your house. Because with the electronics and everything today, and this happened to me when the transformer on the pole blew out. It had been turning yellow. The yellow light had been on for years. Then it started to go red. And you call the power authority, and they're like, yeah, thanks for letting us know. Years go by. Then finally, one day, it blew up and set another neighbor's air conditioner on fire, and all of my shit eventually died. Really expensive shit. And some of it died right away. Some of it went on fire right away. I'm running around the house going, oh my God, what's going on? Some of it died over time. So you're better off with the newer technology. And then if you want, get a cheap little crap generator to run a few other little things out in the yard. Or if you can't wait for solar to, the solar panels to charge up your battery and your inverter and everything, use your crappy generator to just charge up the battery, just the battery, right? If you need to run a saw because trees are down, or recharge some drill batteries, yeah, all right, plug them in. Okay, plug that, get your little crappy generator and run that. And you don't even need anything big. Get a little Coleman or something. especially today. Yeah, absolutely. It's a good way to do it. And because you're going to spend a lot more on the electronic inverter style, that's where you should spend your money. Unless you're upstate, like Big Mike or something. And even then, right, if you don't have the electronics up there yet, like if you set up a new piece of property in the middle of nowhere, start off with the cheapest generator you can get. I'm not going to have a lot up there. And then if you feel later on that you need more power, you buy accordingly. But most of it's like when we get a property, whatever, hunting cabin or something like that. Unless you're setting up like ham radios. But even that, like there's all kinds of solar chargers, there's all kinds of things you can do. You don't have to necessarily plug them directly into your shitty generator that you leave up there. Use a UPS on your expensive electronics. I always do. That, by the way, this is my sine wave UPS, right? But I had an Opti UPS A to D to A converter, and that got burned out by that power surge. And eventually my power supply died because this is the consequence. It's not guaranteed. You have a big problem. Nothing in life is guaranteed other than taxes and debt. Yup. All we can do is minimize it and try to select within what we can afford and what we come across, what we think we can use at that moment in time, and just be more knowledgeable about how to use it. What you think you might be able to get away with for a little while. Hey, I'm just saying, practicality. I mean, I can't run out and buy everything. Most of us are not made of that kind of money. I'm certainly not. So anyway, shout out to the fellow that came and helped me out. All of the guys that come here and help me out from Optimum Online, they've all been very good to me. They all work with me, and they're very nice. And, most of them come from Russia and wherever. They all seem very nice and very smart. And even the language issues, we find ways. Like, it's hard. It's hard when you're trying to talk tech because they know words. Well, it's interesting, too, because once they learn, like, the technical language, even if they don't speak, English, let's say, completely, but they start to learn the technical aspect of everything. And then those words are really in English, honestly. It just is a thing. And you can get through to them. But writing it, I wrote it up, and I've been sending it up to him, sending different messages, and I think we're done now. But he can take that, and if he has a friend or a family member or a child, because a lot of the kids, they learn English, they can read it and then translate it for them, into a more native language. And he'll understand it. So I think that's what, probably what happened. Other than the fact that the fellows that I get to meet are nice people, it's still a pain in my dick, and it's just horrible. All right, let me get to the next segment here. Robert says, he goes, no, but I'd rather replace the UPS. Yeah, sometimes, yeah. Yeah, but that thing was expensive. That A to D to A with the batteries and everything, that was really expensive. Mad says, Briggs and Stratton had their name on the diesel engine back in the what? In the day or something? I'm months away from getting off the 1 gig cable system and switching to fiber. Yeah, I'm on the fiber. You guys have enough fiber in your diet? So once I put like Cat 8 around here and everything, I'll be good to go. So we're good here. I'm all ready. Let's bring this up. And I can show Mike, pay attention. Let's set this up, fellas. For Mike. For everybody, but it's for Mike. I got to say, Mike, I had a really good time today. I miss doing work like this, It reminds us of like I used to get Robbie to, Rob, I got to pull out a transmission again. Rob had like a good upper body, like he could push real easy when we were younger. I'm like, Rob, I want to take out another transmission. Well, actually, really, it was really more putting it in, right? Because I had no problem getting it out. I'm like, but when you're trying to get everything lined up and everything, I always like, Rob, you want to come lay on the ground in transmission fluid? Yeah, all right. You got any pot or anything? Yeah, I'll take care of you, bro. I'll take care. Yeah, tighten you up. Call Rob. Rob remembers. Here we go. Hold on, got to get desktop audio up. I'll shut my mic in a minute. Make sure I got everything going. Because you guys don't tell me.
All right, I made some room.
That's it. That's it.
Just kind of pushed everything out of the way. It's good enough. It's nice having this on wheels for now. Like it'll probably wind up over here more out of the way, but that's another couple of months off. So we got it up. As you can see, I got the cover off. So to take this off, right, this is this whole bar. It's got some heavy duty mount underneath it. Everything on here is like badass. Look at that. I don't have anything like that. So let's take this off now that I can get underneath. Let me take that off, get it out of our way. That goes with Mike's big snowblower thing, snowblower thrower, multi-stage, crazy thing. Let's get that out of the way. And I'm also just kind of going around and pulling off any wire that we can get to. We'll pull this off here. I think one of the ground wires was cut. I mean, the guy just, ripped at everything. But we want to get everything out of the way. And as I come back, we got to free up this too. So this has to be ready to come off. And I think that's the easiest place to get it. As we start to lift the engine, we'll find out more, since I've never taken it apart. And of course, I refuse to look at a manual for it. All right, let me keep going. We still have a few wires left. So we got this sort of fuel line stuck over here. Might as well take that off because it's not going to be something we use. Yeah, let me noodle around. We still have a ground here. We got a ground there. We could take that off. I just want to show you. This comes over to here somewhere. Not really sure because things were changed, but I do want to sort of document. We'll pull the throttle off. Yeah, let me just, I just want you to see it. Oh my God, it was running and this plug was loose. Why is everything I touch is like that? But we're going to want to get the plugs out anyway, because we're going to need to turn the motor over a little bit, probably by hand. So we want to make it a little easier, so that's something else we want to do. Just kind of come over here. All right, I'm going to keep going. Let me get on the ground and fool around with that bracket. It needs a little bit of repair because it got damaged. It should have a little hole down here, so if the water does get in, it doesn't freeze. That's what happened to it. See the bulbous bulge? Well, now it has a hole here. But he can fix all that up.
Yeah, I didn't do any image stabilization or anything, or any edit yet, because that I do within the editor.
All right, last bolt. Oh boy.
Nice.
All right, let me get out of here. Oh, it's nice underneath here. Oh, it's so cool. I love these tractors.
Yeah, it's fun tractors. It's so bitchin' beefy. Yeah.
Let's put that away. I'm going to put that outside. Get it out of here. On the bracket, we got to cut that off. But this is welded on, and then down plain. Mine, the one bracket.
Yeah, yeah. Look, Mike.
But there's no other way to take it off. It's pinned here. This is welded on, and then down here, it's pinned as well. There's no bolt. It's pinned. It's nice and tight. This is nice. I've had some people complain to me about the version that they got on like the plow. For example, like on mine, the one that I made, I've said the same thing. It's not strong enough. This one's definitely strong enough. I want to fix mine. I want to redo it because mine's not really strong enough. But hey, here you go. I put the bolts in it. You can see the water over there coming out of it. All right. I'm going to lay it down either on the crack or the way it is now. I want it outside, but I want to lay it down so the water can come out of it because it's been freezing in water. It's like rain, snowing now, and it'll freeze again. That's why it's rotting from the inside. That needs a sleeve put over it. This here, that needs to be, I would put a sleeve over it. Like just you don't have to go all the way around, like a patch or something. Straighten it out because it's weak. It's weak. And it could fall apart. And like I said, you need to drill it in a few spots. All right. So just for more reference for the future, that's this side. Not bad, right? I mean, it ran okay. The brown is interesting. This one, that's even more brown. But it ran good, and that's nice. Chocolate brown. I'd say that's pretty nice. All right, let me keep going. I want to pull off this spring. We'll pull the belts off. Make sure there's no grounds or connections. We want to get over there as well. We just want to get all the wires out of the way. We don't know. There's a clamp down underneath for the positive wire to the starter motor. So we'll take it from here as, you know, really is safer. And it's going to keep going around trying to find every little thing that might hold it up. All right, so the nut on the starter motor, that was loose. I almost didn't even need the wrench for that. And I went to take off the fuel line, and on this right angle fitting, oh, look, I mean, just jam it down. Oh, it's tight now. Oh, it's better, that'll hold. Yeah, let's just let fuel leak all over the engine. So this is a newer carb. Just let it leak, okay? What's going to happen? Maybe it'll catch on fire. Who cares, right? You know, you ever see these, like, especially like the tractors, like crappy lawn tractors where they're burned up? And people don't understand how it caught on fire. Oh, gee, you're mixing a lot of heat, right, with leaking fuel and tons of dried grass clippings and garbage and filth all over everything. What could go wrong?
Yeah, you think? Oh.
I'll show you in a bit, but this bolt here is a little bit different because the starter motor's in the way, so there's no nut on top. It's just a piece of steel with like a little lip on it, and it grabs the nut because it's got to be very low profile. So we want to keep that together. Let me see, but I need some kind of clearance here. I need a little bit more clearance. Clarence. There we go.
Mike says. That's nuts. How could those be so loose? I don't know, Mike. Because the guy that had it was a schlock. Oh, God.
Get that washer. All right.
Yeah, that came out. Nothing really fought me, though.
I don't think there's anything else, at this point now, I don't think there's anything else holding it in.
No, there really isn't.
Keep in mind that the hoist can kind of slide in this way.
Yeah.
Because...
Yeah, that's fine. Next.
All right, I basically got it rigged up.
Excuse me while I throw up into the microphone first. I'll have to cut that out.
Hey, you want to see? Hold on. All right. I can raise up that upper beam if I need it. Pretty much all the wires are off. So I put this back after I moved everything. And I just want it up high enough to clear the tires. We'll try that first because there is enough room to move this back and also to the side.
Yeah, it's a little tight. A little bit.
So let's put some pressure on it. You know, let's put some tension on it. Kind of lift it up. Now, it has to come up, come forward, but we have to pry here. I don't think there's anything holding this on. And
you missed it.
Rotate it. We'll put a little
I was able to successfully fart.
Is there a set screw? I mean, there is a grease nipple there, but is there some kind of set screw? So I lubed it up. Let's just see what happens. All right. Just put a little pressure on this thing.
Yeah, I love the chain. The chain pole is perfect for this kind of work. Perfect.
Why you do this to me? It's crippled. Oh, how did this get all messed up? I see. These clevis pins, though, they don't feel like they're strong enough, but I like the chain. Oh, look, it's coming. It moved quite a bit. Yeah, it's going. It will go. It's just moving nice. See, mine's all
Success.
messed up. Might need a block or something, but it's going. Means that this area here So it's just a little bit here. Yeah, I just gotta finagle it, but it's just kind of hung up on that pulley. It wants to come up more in the front, but if you bring it up, you gotta bring it up straight, and then it'll clear it. Be my guess. So, but it's trying to cock a little bit because the shaft is hanging back there, and the shaft doesn't have a lot of room. You can kind of see it. So we're running out of room with the shaft. We really wouldn't want to take that pulley off. So this had a nice bushing in it and everything. You can see how it sets up. So put that to the side. I made mine, but this is nice. Mine looks just like this. So I'll let it down, pop the spring off, slide the pulley out of the way because it's getting hung up on that stud, and then relift. All right, let's get it out.
Oh, here it comes. Chain pull is the best for this stuff.
It's getting caught over on that pulley again. All right, so let me show you the camera and I'll show you what I mean. So this is the joint here that never gets lubricated because there's no way into it. And I'll come around from the other side, but the Kohler 20. You can see all the junk in there. I try to get that junk out. That's bad. See the hole? Well, I don't know if that will pass through this whole thing.
It really doesn't.
She's there. Kind of in there if you can't see it. And you know, these bushings aren't terrible, but I think they're tacked in. Yeah, they're tacked in. So these are set up different. So we're going to want to, here's another washer. We're going to want to deal with that. I think I'm going to unbolt it. I think it's, hold on, let me put this over here. I think the best thing to do is just unbolt it. And then we can finagle with the shaft to see if it comes out. Another one here. Yeah, these things look like they're, something's like, I don't really know. We'll have to see what they look like when I go to order them. But yeah, let me throw, there's plenty of room to work in there now. Let's just throw a banger wrench on that or something and it'll pull that off. Because it's out. This motor's in good shape. All right, let me fool around with that. Oh. Kohler Magnum 20. I like these motors. All right. Yeah, you got to take that shaft out. I don't know how they managed to get it out through that hole, but that's for tomorrow. Okay? There's always issues with holes. But yeah, she's in good shape, this motor. I'll figure everything out tomorrow. I'll just climb around it. I know, you're getting light glare and stuff. But yeah, everything looks good. I'm done. We'll get this thing cleaned up. When we're ready to install it, we'll dump the oil. I got to get a few parts. And these kind of look like they're okay on this frame, but this is definitely like welded there. So we got to get a couple of pairs. There's a lot of junk in there. I bet you the weep hole that's supposed to be there, the drain hole is clogged up. I'll pull a few more parts off of it. It's just a few things. I'll get it out of my way and push it outside, drag it out, find a place for it, get my tractor out, and, you know, one thing at a time. We're going to bring the next one in. So we'll put this down someplace and cover it. And it might wind up outside or something. I don't know. I want to bag it for now. Right? We don't really need to do anything with it right now. What we need to do, well, I don't know. Maybe we want to. Maybe we want to clean it up, get it all nice, and get all the stuff that I want for it, whatever that is, filter, whatever. Just kind of get it all here. And then when I pull the other motor, This will be out of here, obviously. The other machine will be in. And this could be in a bag, sitting and waiting, because we want to kind of get in to everything in there and get it all cleaned up. That magnet looks like shit. We want to make sure everything is clean in there, looking for leaks. Lube the starter motor. It looks like we need a new fuel pump, because that's all gross in there. So it's going to need a fuel pump, which we can take from the other motor. Stuff like that. And there's a few things that we can do. That needs to be cleaned up. Maybe we just want to throw on the one from the other. I don't know. But it does need to be adjusted. A lot of that can be done here. We can mount it to an engine stand. There's a number of things that we can do to it. Just to make sure it's okay before we just slap it in. All right, I'm done. I want to go grab some food. That's for tomorrow. The mess is for tomorrow. You know, why do today what you can procrastinate and hold off for till the next day?
Is there anything left? Let's see. What's the next one? I think I just took the pics for tonight's prelude. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, she's beautiful. All right, I'm coming back. I love doing stuff like that. I just get such a kick out of pulling motors. So yeah, I'm thinking, we're just going to kind of go over it, make sure everything is tight, whatever it needs, make up a list. Get filter, check on that carburetor, replace the fuel pump, pull it off the other one, get some fresh plugs. I don't know, maybe the plugs in the other motor are fine. Those were new. And a lot of that stuff can, other than the oil and the oil filter, I mean, if we need it, we have the other motor to take stuff off of. I would like to see in the future about an engine stand for it. I've got extra engine stands in the basement here. And maybe I can make up like a bracket for the other motor that's broken, because that's going to be a great video. We do want to find out what's wrong with that motor. How bad is it? So that kind of stuff is what I'll be thinking about. I'm going to do it Monday. I'm going to do everything Monday. I'll go back to it Monday. Tomorrow's Sunday. I'm not doing it anymore. So there's just no point. Kind of get all that out of the way and have some fun and clean up, find a spot for this thing. I just need a nice day where the ground isn't full of muck and mud, and find a spot for it. Contractor Mike brought over a few things too for me to look at, so I gotta get back to them. But I want to get this junk, so the parts machine, a few parts taken off of it, move it someplace, and put it to the side, and then bring the newer one in and get its motor out, and then I can take a break. And there's one machine I want to work on for Contractor Mike. He's also got that. I showed you. He's got that big machine, and that machine I don't want to bring in the shop. It's too heavy. It's not stable. I think it might be too heavy. It's not really too heavy for my lift, but it's in a weird spot. It's a very tall machine. I won't really be able to lift it up very much. It really needs to go in the garage. So I have to work out all of that. He doesn't need it right away. I have some time. I could make a huge dent on this project before I even get to that. And there is another machine of his here, which is easy. I just got to order some parts for it, and I can slap it back together and get it out of here and make a few bucks. And then I can get back to this thing. And then when this thing will take long. Plus, we want to go over the deck. He just wants to swap out some blades, that kind of thing. Make sure that they're all sharp and everything. It's not going to be much. I'll get together with you, Big Mike. We'll get some. I want to look at the bushing engine mount that they offer, and they might be replacement style factories. So the factory, these are on this frame, they're in good shape. I know on our machines they're not, and the motor is leaning, and it causes problems with the front belts. In fact, I threw a belt because mine's leaning a lot. So it might be a scenario where we maybe have to modify what's there to put the newer motor mount in, the newer style or the replacement style. I don't know. Stuff that we need to look into next. I'll know more about that sometime next week. If you want to look up some parts for it and show me what you find. Mike says, yeah, he goes, I'll stop by tomorrow. Sounds good. Yeah, it'd be fun. And I just want to take a few things off, like the gauges are getting shitted up outside, and there's a few other things I can kind of pop off to have them in-house, in hand. And then the one tire leaks a little bit. So if you fill it up, you could move it around. I don't think it's worth putting any stop leak in it because it may not do anything with those big tires. You have to put a lot of stop leak in, and then you have to drive it around. Well, I can't drive now. I mean, I could drive around with my tractor. I'll be dragging it around with my tractor. But no, I just have to deal with the fact that I have to, because I get Venmo. I think I have Venmo. I just don't use it. You know, I think I do have it. Because they send me things in my inbox. They're like, your Venmo account needs more. I got so much stuff going on. There's so many things going on. Elizabeth asked me the other day, I think I told you guys, she asked me, this is like a couple of days after my daughter left for her trip to California. She goes, well, I didn't know they left already. I said, yeah, they left. She goes, when did they leave? Silence, crickets. She said, well, when did I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? I don't know. I remember. One day goes into the next day, which then goes into another day. And, you know, as a YouTuber, especially somebody like me, I'm really weird. And sometimes I'm up really late because I'm working on videos or something. That's when I have the wind. I get like a second wind. I might take a nap, or I'm sitting here in my chair watching something, taking a break, you know, like I was trying to do earlier. And I feed up. It's nice. I'm watching something. I got my pick of monitors. I got a little wireless keyboard, kind of like Ken, you know. And I have Liz's chair too. If I really wanted to wheel that over, I could set up that monitor and really feel comfortable. And then, I don't know, or I'll go to bed and fall asleep for a little while, and Binks will want to come up, or the cats will come up, and they're in my ear going, brrr, brrr, right? And you're like, and I wake up, it's like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, like, well, I'm up now. I think I'll go work on a video because I don't want to get dirty or anything at that point in time, you know. So I just have these weird hours. It's really weird. And then I found out what's going on with my van, right? So I did renew it like about a year ago. I don't remember when. I don't remember stuff like that, but I must have gotten a notification in the mail or something. And I renewed it like a good soldier boy. And they never sent me the registration and the renewal. They never sent me a receipt in my inbox, in email. So when I was out there fooling around with the van a week ago, I'm like, oh, what's this, 2024? And then when I looked it up and I tried to like resubmit, like I got some error message. So I called them this week, and I got a very nice lady, and she goes, no, it's yours. I guess we just didn't send it out. So she walked me through online to buy a replacement registration, $3. And I go to pay for it. My card declines. I tried it a couple of times. I called. Now, spent like the whole day on the phone with Optimum Online, cable, and then now I'm on the phone with my bank, then DMV. And they're like, oh, yeah. Because my cell phone provider keeps hitting me up going, you need a new card, right? You need to renew your account, give us your new card number. I'm like, I can't. I don't know. I'm looking around like, where's my credit card, right? I guess you can't use an Amazon account card. So turns out they're like, well, you should have it by Friday. Oh, holidays and weekends, they have between 7 and 10 days. No, it didn't come. Well, if you really don't get it by early next week, give us another call. So my ex-wife asked me, she goes, well, don't you have another card? And she got mad. I didn't mean it as a dig, but I was like, no, I don't, because I lost all of that in the divorce. She did get mad. I'm like, it's not a dig. It's like, they literally froze all my accounts. And I was talking to my lawyer friend. He goes, yeah, they do that. They basically disown you from society, right? They literally, I had nothing. Whatever I had in my wallet and here stashed away was all the money I had. They just take it away from you. Then you have to fight to get it back. And then they want you in court. Oh, no problem. I'll just show up. I'll sell, I don't know, my toenail clippings for gas money. So I couldn't even get that done. I still don't have the credit card. And now, I get all these offers to transfer my balances and everything. So I said, I didn't mean to make you upset. Like, I'm always, diggy, yeah. It's like, these ladies, all of these ladies, you know, whatever it is, every now and then you just got to go, just to keep them in line a little bit. Not too much, but just so that you don't become a beta male. All right, I'm getting out of here, fellas. It was good chatting. And hit the like and subscribe button. I never say that. That's like, whenever I hear somebody do that, I'm like, oh, I was going to hit the like and subscribe button. You know what, mother effer? Now I'm definitely not doing it. I'll see you guys later.